Thank you. Ceasefire is the need of the hour in the border of the public sector and the private sector for the stability and expansion of our economy. Since 2014, the government of the day at the center has already elapsed 7 years of time. It is the right time now for the ruling party to sit together and think of whether our economy should be moved forward with the one sector only, which is the private sector, or the private sector with a minimum presence of the public sector. The situation was altogether different during the rule of the National Congress, especially when the Congress was headed by Srimati Indira Gandhi. At that time, it was the idea that the economy should be moved ahead with the full force of the public sector, leaving the private sector to play a minor role in the economic development of India. Question then naturally emerges before us that whether every time with the change of the government at the center, the direction of the economy will also change. Does it augur well for the economy and especially for the working class? Should we not sit together and discuss to arrive at a common policy in the field of economy like we have in the field of foreign policy? As regards foreign policy, our non-aligned policy was handled better by Srimati Indira Gandhi than even the original proponent of the policy by no other leader but Jawaharlal Nehru himself. And now, even much better by the ruling government headed by Sri Narendra Modi. Why not follow then the same non-alignment policy domestically in respect of the private sector and the public sector as the two major economic engines towards the overall development of India? To do so, there is a need to have a thorough reform in the public sector, incorporating the concepts of ownership as well as profitability along with the business model. That is, the business model of the public sector should be one of cost minimization and revenue maximization through sales maximization. And the government at the center should also allow the sector to consolidate so as to emerge like a group, similar to the group under the private sector. For example, Tata Group, Birla Group, Adani Group, Reliance Group, etc. Side by side, a trust with a chairperson should be formed to look after the affairs of all the companies falling under the Central Public Sector CPS. Although sector wise we have many companies falling under the CPS. For example, banking sector, defense sector, and even within the defense sector, there are ordnance factories, shipbuilding organizations, aircraft manufacturing, and associated companies. But then we don't need separate trust for each and every sector. One trust will be suffice to do all the jobs alone.